Hello, everybody. It's Royce here. Sorry I'm a little bit late, folks. Technical difficulties, but we got them all under control now. Thank you so much for waiting. Okay, the first thing I want to say is welcome to the Four Horsemen YouTube channel, your ultimate destination for all things rock and roll, classic rock, some metal, and even some pop and power pop. Okay, so this is your last stop that you need right here. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to get the show started. Tonight we're talking about the unholy trinity of rock and roll, the unholy trinity. And we're going to explain what that is. Hello, Dan.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How you doing? You probably heard by now that Michael Nolan is taking the night off. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
I'm a little late because I went to boot up my computer and decided to do an update, so I was running a little behind.
I know I just barely got on myself, but we're gonna get into the unholy trinity of rock and roll, the three bands that are usually described as the unholy trinity in rock and roll. Okay, so it looks like we have let's see now, we've got a third horseman out there, and that is of course Chris Elliott. He was out there earlier. Let me put the link up one more time. Chris, are you still out there?
Well, I saw Chris
Uh,
had left a message saying he had something come up,
oh, okay,
so
okay.
he may not be here. But I do see, I think Dawson's out there, right?
Yes, Dawson. Dawson.
There he is.
You are a true warrior in every sense of the word. Okay. All right. Very good, guys. Of course, next to me is the one and only Just the Facts man, Dan, my old friend Dan. I was looking at some old videos today, Dan. I just realizing just how far back we went. You know, it was quite a ways. So anyway,
Yeah.
Dan, hey, go check out Just the Facts Man. Dan has a wonderful channel, very diversified, covers all kinds of topics. He interviews rock people. I've done a couple of interviews with him, and he goes to a lot of concerts. He has a lot of friends in the music industry. He's helped manage bands before, so you're really gonna like Just the Facts Man. And below the two of us is Dawson Walters. How you doing, Dawson?
Great. How about you?
Good. Rampage Video, man. You're ready to go. I'm really excited that you're here to help. Okay. And I've got a few announcements to make later on, but let's kind of get the show started. And I want you to know, Caitlin, if you would like to join us, you're more than welcome, Caitlin. We'd love to have you on. Okay, so all right, let's get the show kicked off here. Okay, we're talking about the unholy trinity of rock and roll. It's widely considered to be, which is widely considered to be Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and Deep Purple. Once in a while, you might see another name thrown on there, but generally speaking, it's Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and Deep Purple. These three British bands are recognized for their pioneering and foundational work in heavy metal and hard rock during the late 60s and early 70s, folks. So let's talk about some of the contributions, and then we'll get into more depth. Okay, Led Zeppelin's blues-based hard rock fusion, Black Sabbath's dark, heavy riffs, and Deep Purple's virtuosic blend of classical and rock laid the groundwork for countless bands. I mean, countless bands in the heavier genres. They're called the Unholy Trinity because their heavy, powerful, often dark sound was a stark contrast to the more psychedelic folk music of the time. Okay, so let's we'll get the panel up here for a minute, then we'll get back into more of that. But Dan, do you love all three of these bands?
Oh yeah, and I've seen all three of them in concert before too, so I know
That's just
firsthand.
absolutely, that's absolutely outstanding.
I think I really recognized it. I was probably about, I don't know, 14 years old. First time I heard Black Sabbath. And
Oh yeah.
I thought this is different. This is different, you know.
Oh man, yeah.
And I like the sound of it, but it seemed like at the time, people my age weren't really listening to that type of music. They were listening to more pop stuff, you know.
Well, that's exactly right.
And then, of course,
Exactly right.
later on, I discovered Led Zeppelin, probably in 1973, and Deep Purple was always one of my favorites, but I didn't really get really heavy into them. But Led
Right,
Zeppelin,
right.
Black Sabbath, they kind of turned me towards the heavy metal sound. from the very
Right.
beginning. And
Yeah.
it seemed like it took years later for everybody to kind of catch up to what I was listening to in that genre. But
Right. Well, I'll tell you. Yeah, go ahead, Dan. Continue if you like.
oh, that was basically
Okay.
it. Well, one of my
Okay.
big, in fact, one of my top concerts ever. I got to put at the top. I mean, I've seen the Stones like 3 times, but I've only seen Zeppelin 1 time. And
Gotcha.
to me, that's still one of the top concerts ever. And there's
Oh,
even online. You can go online and you can actually listen to the very concert I went to. They got it on YouTube, just the audio. And
right.
they say that was probably the worst concert John Bonham ever had. And
No
I'm
kidding.
not sure why, but I thought it was great. But the reviews
Right.
saying he
Right.
had an off night that night. And
Gotcha.
one of the things I remember too is right around, it was in June, right before 4th of July in
Okay.
1977. And so there was a lot of fireworks going on. And there was
Okay.
somebody
Okay.
had a string of firecrackers running under the bleachers, lighting them. Then someone got a string up and threw them on stage. Led
Hmm.
Zeppelin stopped the show, and Robert Plant says, "That happens one more time, we're leaving." And you
I've
know
heard
what?
that. I've heard that story. Yeah. And
And
it didn't.
everybody policed everybody. Make sure
Oh
that didn't
yeah.
happen again.
Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't want to be the guy that let one more off after
Yeah.
that. Hey, Dawson, are you a fan of all three of these bands?
I
I
love
mean,
all three of these bands. I've seen Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, and of course, time permitting, I
Yeah.
in my lifetime, I have seen Jason Bonham and I've
okay.
seen
Yeah.
Robert Plant.
Gotcha.
So I got as close as I could to this
Yeah.
Unholy
Yeah.
Trinity
Yeah.
here, but
Right. Right.
uh, it was probably I was about 3 years old in the parents' garage, and I heard Black Dog. I heard that
Right.
unholy guitar riff, and it just wasn't a regular guitar. It was he had a little bit of phase in there. He had a little bit of magic in there, and they had the pocket. They had the pocket groove, and that's what got me on this journey of rock and roll that we're all on now. So yeah, I got
Yeah.
lots to say about it, but
Oh, good.
that's
Okay.
my brief synopsis here.
Well, that's awesome. Okay. Now, for myself, I saw Black Sabbath in 1972. I just graduated from high school. And I'll tell you what, I, I always have a hard time describing how I felt. It was like the music was like thick. It
Yeah.
was like walking through water, not through air, with that music playing. It was like nothing I had experienced ever before. Then I moved to California, got married. My wife and I went to the California Jam at the
Yeah.
Ontario Speedway, and both Black Sabbath and Deep Purple played there. Okay. So I mean, that was quite a treat. And so I was loving on that. And like you, I it just kills me because the year that in 72, when I saw the Rolling Stones at the Long Beach Arena where I was living at the time, Long Beach, California, that same year Zeppelin played there, and I didn't see them. I was
Uh,
living right there in Long Beach, and I'm practically suicidal every time I think about it. But like you, Dawson, I did see Jason Bonham,
yep.
Evening with Led Zeppelin, at Vina Robles Amphitheater, small venue. He played some great, great Zeppelin covers. Oh my God, he's so good. I mean, I really enjoyed seeing that. And then I also saw Robert Plant with Alison Krauss there. And Robert solo sang some Zeppelin songs and some extended versions that were just a freaking die for. So that
Mm.
was as close as I got to Led Zeppelin. And I'll never forgive myself for missing it. I want to say a couple of things. First of all, a couple of quick little shout outs. I got a couple of super chats last week. One was Ben Scheidegger, super great young man, and he gave me a $5 super chat. And Rock and Robin Bird gave me a $2 super chat. I just wanted to thank you guys so much and say how much I appreciated that support, extra little layer of support. I've got some new and interesting things coming up before very much longer, and I'll talk about them a little bit here just briefly. One of the things I want to start doing is a ladies' night where we cover, female bands, right? I really would like to bring my audience up with the girls. It's like primarily guys with a couple of percent of girls, but I'd like to turn that around because there's some fantastic bands out there we can cover.
Yeah.
Really look forward to, Blondie and Hard, and just there's so many, So I want to get into having an occasional ladies' night, and we'll have some. Maybe we can drag one of them up here as a special guest while we do it. But the other thing I want to show is I've got some merchandise coming out, and I think I was gonna create a store and start selling some merchandise, but I don't think I'm going to do that now. I think I'm just gonna trade merchandise for memberships and things like that. I've had my mugs developed. Okay, got the Four Horsemen on there,
All right.
and on the other side it says, of all things, the Four Horsemen.
Cool.
So anyway, I really like this mug. I think it turned out pretty darn good. Being able to get rid of the whole background and stuff, so it just didn't look like a photograph planted on. So anyway, so I'm gonna start. I haven't quite got it all together yet. The mugs cost about $11 to produce with the artwork, and then another that much to ship them to me. So I'm into the mugs for about $22. So I think what I'd like to do is just come up with, you subscribe for a certain length of time, I send you a mug, kind of a thing. I've even got some t-shirts designed too. And maybe if I've got a picture of one, which I thought I had a picture of one, let me just show that real quick, and we'll get back to what we're supposed to be doing, the show. Okay. So yeah, here we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then of course on the back, a warrior's path is forged in fire and tempered by honor, their spirit unbroken, and their love for rock and roll never ending. The Four Horsemen Warrior's Code. Okay. Anyway, enough of all that, folks. We've got plenty to talk about here, and we'll go and jump right back into it. Okay. So, all right.
I like that warrior logo. My high school mascot was a warrior. So.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's take a closer look at why they're considered the Unholy Trinity. We'll start with Led Zeppelin. Their fusion in styles, blended heavy amplified blues with English folk and Eastern influences. Sonic innovations pioneered what became known as stadium rock and album-oriented rock, with their powerful guitar-driven sound. Okay, influential figure Jimmy Page is known for his iconic riffs and intricate studio arrangements. Jimmy Page's core skills include his influential guitar playing, groundbreaking production, visionary songwriting. His style is defined less by technical perfection, more by raw, emotional expansiveness, drawing heavily from blues, folk, and rock and roll. And I tell you what, there was a whole lot of technical perfections. But anyway, and all the other things I'm reading too. As a founder of Led Zeppelin, his work helped define the sound of hard rock and heavy metal. Okay, meanwhile, Robert Plant is a rock legend known for his powerful vocal talent, charismatic stage presence, versatility as a performer and lyricist. As the voice of Led Zeppelin, his unique style fused blues, folk, hard rock, establishing a new standard for rock frontmen and influencing generations of singers, folks, generations, and still influencing them today, okay? John Bonham's talent was a unique blend of raw power, jazz-influenced finesse, and a powerful sense of groove that changed rock drumming. Beyond just keeping time, he commanded the drums, created a massive, distinct sound that became an integral part of Led Zeppelin's identity. And then we have John Paul Jones, a versatile multi-instrumentalist known for his classical training and ability to play bass, keyboards, mandolin, among many other instruments, along with the knack for songwriting and arranging. His talents included creative, innovative arrangements, complex textures, as seen in Led Zeppelin's No Quarter and Kashmir, and his work provided the band with a sophisticated layer of sound beyond simple hard rock. Okay, so that's those were the things that Led Zeppelin brought to the table, folks. And so let's go back to the panel. Let's discuss that a little bit, guys. I think we're talking about. Well, okay, I'm going to come right out and say it. Led Zeppelin is my favorite band. They are number one with me. Okay, as a band. So I love that band. I mean, they can do no wrong other than the fact that they're no longer together, and that's nobody's fault. Well, we'll leave it at that. But anyway, so what was it like at the Led Zeppelin concerts, Dan? I'm just drooling listening to you talk about it.
Well, some of the things I remember, first of all, was the ticket sales. There was no online ticket sales, so we actually had to go to San Diego Sports Arena
Uh-huh.
to get the tickets, and there were thousands of people there. We were lucky to get tickets, and I ended up having to buy mine off a scalper.
Oh, okay.
I had to pay $25 a ticket
$25. I was going to say, yeah.
from a scalper.
Yeah, you got killed on that. Didn't you?
Well, they were only, I think face value was like $8 or something, so it was
Oh, is that right?
3 times the ticket price.
Well, I know.
You know.
Yeah. Back then, you would have had a different perception.
But one of the
altogether.
things I really remember when they were getting ready to open the doors, it's probably a couple hours before the doors open,
Right.
and there was thousands of people just waiting to get inside, and there was some disheveled type guy. He's looked like a homeless person possibly. Had a little brown bag and going down the line selling mushrooms to people. And
Yeah.
so of course I didn't take any. Of course I didn't do that. I was in the military, and so anyway, by the time probably 2 hours later, we finally went to the doors open. We were going inside. I see the guy with the little brown bag. He's passed out, by the glass doors. So
Right. That's
and
funny.
I also remember too, back in those days too, almost all concerts, when the lights went out,
Yeah.
everybody,
Oh, yeah.
everybody lit up and the place got smoke filled.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Those were the days, right?
And when the concert was over with, people still the audience was sitting in their seats and people have to wake them up. You got to go.
Right.
It's so much different than what it is today.
Yeah, no, I've got stories of being woke up, but not tonight. Not tonight. Hey, Dawson, what do you think about the extraordinary talents of Led Zeppelin? Oh man.
So I had some realizations, I think, later in the summertime because I took the trip to see Eric Clapton. And of course, Eric Clapton was part of the Yardbirds, and Jimmy Page. So Jimmy Page was always a student of rock and roll. He cut his chops, in the garages in the bands. And
Oh yeah.
he cut his chops in the studios with the production, and then
Right.
he got together with the mastermind of at different times, of course, Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton.
Sure.
So I got to see Eric Clapton and Jeff Beck, and so we're kind of weaving together the story of rock and roll that we have here and making sense of where we are with Led Zeppelin. So you take Jimmy Page and he combined their talents to become this ninja of a guitar player and this monster. And so to partially complete this story, I also seen Michael White's Led Zeppelin tribute. They were the first ever Led Zeppelin tribute band, and they played it over 40 years together. And I met the singer of the band, and watching them do their rendition of what we perceive as Led Zeppelin, there are glimpses of there that took me back to thinking, hey, that kind of looks like Robert Plant. Hey, that kind of looks
Right.
like Jimmy Page in '77.
Right.
That's a cool drum style that John Bonham was doing. And we
Right.
can't even get started on JPJ. But what I'm saying is that we've caught the closest glimpses we can of what we see as Led Zeppelin. And that
Right.
was pretty
Right.
damn cool.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I always
Awesome.
thought it was kind of amazing too, where Jimmy Page's roots started. Wasn't he in called a Skittle band?
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah,
Skiffle
and-
Band.
Yeah, and I listened to some of his music, his early stuff. It's nothing like what he turned out to be in Zeppelin. But I guess I don't know how he crossed over because the style of music is so different. But I guess everybody has to have their beginnings.
Right.
And I'm not sure when he crossed over to Zeppelin type sound, but
Right. Hey guys, I just want to say that Michael Nolan's got a pretty funny statement up here. I think we should call Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, and Uriah Heep rock's unholy Fantastic Four.
Tatanka.
Right. Okay, so yeah, that's amazing, Dawson. I mean, I appreciate you coming in here and like stepping up like this. Nice job. So
I'm
anyway,
a warrior, right? I'm a warrior. I'm a rock
you
warrior.
are a warrior, and I can appreciate the warrior in you tonight for sure. Yeah. Okay. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk a little bit now about Black Sabbath. Okay. I mean, Tony Iommi's playing was characterized by heavy doom-laden riffs created by down-tuning his guitar and using power chords, palm muting, a technique developed after some fingertips were cut off in a accident at work in a sheet metal shop, where he was told he'll never play the guitar again. Then he made his own little prosthetics that he taped on, and look what happened. His style is rooted in blues and pentatonic scales, often incorporating the dissonant devil's interval, the tritone, and creating a dark, menacing sound that laid the foundation for heavy metal. Okay, I mean, what a story that is. You know, you're working at a machine shop. I think it was 18, maybe 17 years old. He's stamping the machine down, you know, moving, creating something out of sheet metal, and he accidentally chops fingertips off. And it was supposed to be over by then. And he's, you know, I love that kind of attitude that you just, you know, nobody's going to knock me out. You know, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make it freaking work no matter what. I think that's totally badass, man. I really appreciate stuff like that. Okay. So Ozzy Osbourne. Okay. His his talent lies in his distinctive, haunting vocal style. Okay. His ability to craft melodic vocal lines and create iconic heavy metal anthems, and his legendary stage presence as a showman and a rebel. Metal anthems, and his legendary stage presence as a showman and rebel. While not technically proficient musician, his raw charisma, and I mean, you know, Ozzy has charisma. He absolutely has charisma. Unique Prince of Darkness persona were instrumental in pioneering heavy metal with Black Sabbath and continue to define his solo career. Okay. He helped birth heavy metal by blending dark, heavy riffs, haunting lyrics. His voice and presence defined the genre's early sound and continues to influence rock and metal music. You know, how impressive was that? Longevity and resilience, despite struggles. His resilience has made him a symbol of rock and roll rebellion, and his ability to connect with fans over decades has cemented his legacy. You know, I can't say enough about Ozzy. I'll tell you what. Somebody came on earlier. I'm just going to mention it briefly. Somebody came on and said, "Hey, man, you always just do the same people over and over again. I'm going to cancel my subscription." And I thought about that for a few minutes. I thought about, did I want to talk about that when the show started? Did I want to? I almost brought a bunch of screenshots to the show to show all these different variety of bands I've done in the last 2 months, like 10 or 12 different ones. You know, I was really pissed off, to be honest with you. You know, and I went back up to his name and went over to the right and clicked. And you get all these options. You can kick somebody off the show. You can do this, you do that, or you can go to his channel. So I clicked on that. Now, this was an hour or so before the show started. I went to his channel, and you know what I found out? He's gonna unsubscribe me. He just started his channel today, shortly before my show.
Wow.
He started his channel, and I said, I suspected some troll had made up a new name. It was going to come into my chat and completely distract the show, which I'm kind of doing right now, take away from what we're here to do, and enjoy doing so. You know what I'm saying? So he was a troll. I banned him from the show, kicked his ass off. And if something like that shows up anywhere here tonight, guys, do not hesitate. You have all my position, all my permission in the world to, yeah, spike him with your horned helmet, whatever you want to do. But get him the hell out of here, man, because the trolls have been out in force lately, and it's really a bad thing. All they want to do is disrupt shows by people like us that are just trying to have a good time, try to entertain, have a good time, and just enjoy ourselves. And these guys come along and try to like blow the show up. So anyway, so Ozzy's talents included an ability to create iconic field-based. Let's see. I'm a little bit lost here, guys. Okay. All right. I'd already covered that. So what I want to talk about next is my good buddy Geezer Butler, bassist and primary songwriter. I don't know how many people know that he's the primary songwriter for Black Sabbath. There's some funny stories. I have his book, Into the Void, it's called, where he tells his whole story about, how they got their start and everything. And they were so broke to begin with. Tony Iommi was the only one that owned an old rusty old van with a big hole in the floor. And he recalls when they picked up a couple of girls hitchhiking, one of them stepped to the floor and cut her leg all up. They're all screaming at him. They pulled over and let him out. And Ozzy would walk around with something around his neck, and a bath faucet would be his medallion hanging from this chain, a bath faucet. And he'd be wearing like pants with two different colored legs, sewn together. And everybody just thought he was a complete nutball. But I mean, everybody had something like that going on. Geezer Butler, a bassist, had a 2-string bass. He couldn't afford to buy the other two strings. So he was playing bass with 2 freaking strings. And when he finally got 4, somebody told him if he took them off after every performance and oiled them and stuff, they'd lasted a little longer. So they had to stretch things like bass strings out, make them last as long as they could, And an interesting little story that ties in here, right here, was Geezer's up there playing, and they'd gotten a tip from Ian Anderson. Jethro tells Ian Anderson. He said, "Listen, guys, let me help you out. Got all these clubs here in Birmingham, and what you're going to find is oftentimes the bands don't show up for their scheduled performances. So what you want to do is hang out, and if a band doesn't show up, you go up there and say, 'Hey, we'll take their place,' because they've got a big audience there waiting to hear a band play." And so they started doing that. So one night, it was supposed to be Ian Anderson playing, and they were sitting out there, and Ian Anderson didn't show up, and the crowd was getting, pissed off. And so they went up and said, "Hey, we'll take their place." So they got hired to take their place. Well, so they're up there playing, and they're having a good time, and they're really starting to connect with the audience. They're getting some of this heavy stuff going on. And Geezer looks over, and there's Ian Anderson. And Ian Anderson walked up to the stage, and he moved down to where he was right in front of Tony Iommi and was staring at Tony. And what had happened is his guitar player had just left, and Geezer knew that, and he was like, "Oh my God, just when we're starting to get some this is what he's thinking. Just when we're starting to get some traction, starting to get something going here, here comes Anderson staring at, well, sure enough, and Iommi, but sure enough, right after the show, Ian Anderson came up to Tony Iommi and said, "Hey, listen, if you'd like to try out for a job, we're getting ready to tour America, and I need a guitar player, and I'll pay you." I can't remember, how much it was, but it was like big money, really, for what they were doing. And so Iommi went over there and he auditioned. They hired him, and he wound up quitting and showing back up with the guys, and they were like, "What the hell happened?" He was like, "Nobody's going to tell me how to play the guitar. I play it my way." And so then he went home, and his mother goes, "What happened? I thought you were leaving for America." And he goes, "I quit." And his mother just threw an absolute fit, telling him how big of an idiot it was for what he was going to get paid. So, and Geezer Butler, of course, is thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to have to go back to being an accountant. I hate being an accountant." So anyway, that's just a little side story. So let's get back and let's talk a little bit more about Black Sabbath. Okay. So, like I said, Geezer Butler was the main lyricist. That was a huge contribution of his that was essential to forging the sound of heavy metal with Black Sabbath. He was a co-founder of the band, and his talents extended far beyond simply providing a rhythm section, guys. Okay, so Bill Ward, let's talk about Bill Ward here. Okay, Bill Ward was a pioneering drummer known for his unique jazz influenced style that blended heavy, powerful playing with intricate swing like grooves, laying the foundation for heavy metal. His talents included an ability to create iconic fill based rhythms, write catchy drum hooks, and play with a dynamic, sometimes unorthodox approach that was integral to Black Sabbath's sound. He also contributed lead vocals and some tracks and played other instruments such as keyboards. Okay, so let's get the old panel back up here, see what everybody got to say for themselves. Michael Nolan, middle is surf with distortion. Yeah. Jerry Garcia lost his whole middle finger. Wow.
What finger was that?
Yeah. What finger was that?
Just the index.
Right. Hey, Tim Henry, how you doing, brother? I hope all is well with you, man. Yeah, Rock and Robin Bird, they were good. Lenny Wolf, great vocalist. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Rick is saying hi to Hop Frog. Our good friend Dave is out there. Yeah, I mean, if Dave, if you'd like to come up and talk about these guys, you're more than welcome. We'll have you up here. We like our buddy Dave. We know you're a knowledgeable guy and good storyteller. So I just put up a link, and I'm gonna have to go down and find it now to make sure it's up. Yes, it's up. So, like I said, Dave Hopfrog, you're more than welcome to join us. And I've invited Kate earlier, and but anyway, we're where we are right now. Okay, so Tim Henry, Music Live, Black Toll, Black Toll, I like that. Al Val, Rick, Dr. Insomnia, my buddy. Google Black Rock and Roll Circus. I'm sorry. Check out the Jethro Tull performance. That's Tony. Oh, I gotta see that. Rock and Roll Circus. Check out the Jethro Tull performance. That's Tony playing. Hey, thank you. Thanks for the heads up on that. Appreciate that, Dr. Insomnia. Dr. Insomnia, Jethro Sabbath. Black Toll and Jethro Sabbath. I love it. Okay. Jethro, bloody Jethro.
Black Jethro.
Right. Jethro Sabbath. This is great. Hey, Angela, good to see you. We're going to start having a ladies' night where we'll cover female bands. So we'd like to have some lady guests on if they're interested. So just put that little bug in your ear. Think about it. Okay, so all right. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Black Sabbath and all that jazz?
Something I always wondered, when you talk about Tony losing the tips of a couple of his fingers there.
Yeah.
And, that happened on the last day of the job, too. That was his last day on the job. And I wonder,
right.
If he wouldn't have got his fingertips cut off, I wonder if that would have changed history. I mean, maybe he wouldn't have become as good a guitar player as he became. Maybe things would have been different. You never know. But he may do with those little because I've looked closer.
Hold it, guys. Hold it. We got something going on here in the chat, and someone has just been banned. Someone has just been banned. Okay, so we have banned him.
Jeez.
Ah, God dang! Caught him myself. I'm really proud of myself. I hate to be the last to know. So it says Royce, I'm a homo. was I should not. Why did I repeat that? Never mind. Okay, we won't go any further. Okay, so we got him. All right. So where are we here now? Rock and Robin Bird. Anybody on the panel see Black Sabbath?
Oh, I've seen Black. Yeah, I've seen
twice.
Black.
Twice. 1972, Las Vegas Convention Center. I just graduated high school a year earlier. And at the California Jam in 75 at the Ontario Speedway with Deep Purple and a whole bunch of other great people. The Eagles were there too.
And I saw him.
So anyways,
I saw him in '76 when Technical Ecstasy album had just come out.
right on. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, what was that? Was that like their fourth or fifth?
1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's probably their fifth. I think it was their fifth album. Or wait a minute. You got Black Sabbath, you got Paranoid, Master Reality. The fourth one was it Sabbath Bloody Sabbath?
Volume 4.
Volume 4, yeah. Volume 4, then Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Technical Ecstasy, I think I was after that one.
I think so, yeah.
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Sabotage, Technical Ecstasy.
Oh, you're right,
Sabotage.
Forgot about Sabotage, yeah.
Yeah, Al Val says Tony Iommi would have been a different guitarist for sure. Yeah, he really had to create his own style of playing after that accident. And Dr. Insomnia saw Sabbath twice at 2 different Ozfests. That would have been amazing. Hey, Doc Insomnia, did you stream the Back to the Beginning, the live? Just curious. Like I said, someone came on that I banned earlier, and my hunch is I just banned the same guy, and my hunch is I know who both of them are. They're all one and the same, because the guy's been getting kudos on another channel as being a good boy, and he's like feels like he's got support for being a troll from. I don't even want to go there anymore, but anyway, it's just beyond irritating.
That Back to the Beginning concert, I recorded the entire concert. Well, I'd say 75% of it, but I don't dare replay it anywhere on the internet because I'll get banned. They're pretty.
Yeah, you're right.
They're pretty strict about that. So that's my own personal copy, I guess.
Yeah. What's funny, Dan, is like, if you played something like that on YouTube, yes. But I sat there in Paso Robles and filmed the entire Alice Cooper concert. I mean, my arms were aching trying to hold that camera up.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I filmed a bunch of the Ace Frehley, who was opening for Alice. And you know what? I put that on, and it was okay. It was Facebook Live. It was live. I think I remember you coming into the kind of a chat and saying something. But anyway, that was up on Facebook for months, and it was like never got any trouble for it.
Well, I noticed what YouTube does what they do sometimes. If it's a live performance and you're recording it with your own equipment, sometimes they'll say, okay, we'll go ahead, we'll share the money with the artist. They'll notice you have a copyright violation, but you're not in trouble for it. And whatever money you make, it goes towards the artist. But we're dealing like with Mercury. I think Mercury is the one that put on the Back to the Beginning concert. They've got all the rights to all that, and they'll have you banned. So you know what? Yeah. But I also noticed I do still see videos out there where people recorded sections of the Back to the Beginning concert with their own equipment, and that's okay. But you can't use what Mercury streamed.
Gotcha.
Because that's their property. So yeah, they'll ban you for that.
Yeah, I figured eventually it's got to come out on tape or something. Maybe I'll buy a copy. So we've been joined by the one and only I Am Hop Frog, our good friend Dave. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing good. I've been in the thick and putting up Halloween decorations and
have you
making new ones?
Yeah, that's a fun time of year.
Oh yeah,
fun time of year. I don't want to get distracted. I've got some stories, but I won't go there. So anyway, Dave, let's see now. What is how much do you like these bands we're talking about? What's your opening comments?
I like all of them. Black Sabbath is going to be my favorite. Ozzy, of course,
Yeah, Ozzy.
More about that. Yeah, I still get kind of teary-eyed every now and again since he's passed, just thinking about him.
Yeah, I know that he had that effect on a lot of people.
Yeah,
it affected me for a long time.
Yeah.
I was almost dysfunctional. I told my wife, I can't go to work, man. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I need a couple of more months.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I mean, I think he was really misunderstood, but quite a
Yeah.
character. You hear some of the stories that some of the band members tell, and walking a dogless leash and other things at times.
Obviously,
Yeah. He'd walk around with a leash. Geezer was saying there was no dog on the leash, and he was wearing like a bathrobe and barefoot and stuff. Yeah, it's good stories. I think he was just always wanted to be an entertainer and just keep people happy and smiling.
Right.
And
Make
enjoying the
people
moment.
laugh.
Yeah. It's
I agree with that.
yeah. And I didn't recognize Dawson. He doesn't have his Zach Wild Viking horns on.
Oh, he took them off. Yeah. Wow.
I can't have. I want to make sure I have some good audiophile quality here, and I also don't want more people to think I may or may not be a Minnesota Vikings fan. So I gotta walk. I gotta be like Johnny Cash and walk the line here.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, Dave, what kind of Iron Maiden shirt do you got on there?
Oh, I've got the original.
Peace of Mind.
Peace of Mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
One of the first albums I bought as a young guy, 14, 15, 16, working and stuff. So that and
Dave needs his horse name. We got to have a name for him.
Oh, I put it up there already.
Okay.
It's Last of the Show Horse.
Show horse?
Yeah. Last of the Show Horse. Yeah.
Last of the show. Okay. Right on.
Okay.
I like that.
I had Pale Horse still up there and I just changed it. So.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was on a show the other night, just kind of, I went to a show. The guy had been to my show the previous couple of nights, and I'm scrolling and I find he's doing a show. It just started, and I go on there, and somebody started arguing with me. They're like, what color's the Pale Horse? I said, well, it's kind of kind of an off-white. And he goes, you're wrong. It's green. What are you talking about? And then he said something, and I said something, and I just kind of laughed it off and said, and made a joke out of it. But it was starting to kind of get under my skin.
Yeah. I mean, if you see those horses,
the Pale Horse. Yeah. The definition of the Pale Horse was green.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was someone who said that we talk about the same bands, but I think the thing is that each time you hear about the band, the story keeps unraveling, and there's something new to say about it. And I don't think I've ever showed this before, but boys, can I show you one of my memorabilia from Black Sabbath?
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's my Black Sabbath 13 ticket from Cops Coliseum in Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
They just renamed the Cops Coliseum to I think like TD Bank thing.
Okay.
But
I see that's 2014, and the price had gone up a little bit, $143.25.
Yeah, I paid.
Which, I would give that all day long to see it right now.
I paid just about $150 for it, but rock and roll is very unpredictable, and so when I seen the advertisement for Black Sabbath 13, I bought the ticket on November 21st, 2013, and the show wasn't until April 11th, 2014. So it was like an early type Christmas present.
Oh,
and so when you're like 14 years old and you see an advertisement that Black Sabbath is going to show up to your town,
right?
You're gonna go. So
absolutely.
So we might talk about the same bands, but the path that we're on, we're going to see new stories and new scenery. So that was my new thing. And I rarely repeat myself, but that is something that we can contribute for tonight for all the Four Horsemen.
Oh, yes. Outstanding, brother. Appreciate you big time. Okay, so let's see. We have not talked about Deep Purple really yet, which I saw at the California Jam along with Black Sabbath. And is that a different ticket? Oh,
yeah, this is my
okay.
Deep Purple ticket.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know you weren't done.
No, I'm done.
Wait. Let me see that. Huh?
I was done. Dude.
Make it small.
Let me see that one more time.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Deep Purple.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Art Park Amphitheater.
$12 though. Oh my God.
Yeah, $12.
Yeah, man, that's a
So
score.
that kind of makes up for the Sabbath thing, you know. You kind of
Right.
got it. Oh, damn! I got us all beat, man.
Oh my God.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Michael, are you drilling, Michael? I know I am. Wow. Okay.
Oh, I got a bunch of them here.
Do you? Okay. Well, you want to show some more?
In fact, I took some pictures during the Zeppelin concert. They're not very good, but that's Zeppelin there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
You got to remember, it's 1977, and Kodak Instamatics weren't all that great.
That's right. Yeah.
There's a sign out in front saying Led Zeppelin tonight, but you can barely read it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whoa.
Right.
What else I got here? Oh, I got a whole book here.
Oh man, look at that.
There's my Black Sabbath
Kiss,
in the center.
Black Sabbath in the center. Kiss to the
Kiss.
left over here, and
Wow. There's my very first concert, Quicksilver Canned Heat.
Is that whole photo album there full of tickets and stuff?
Some of them. I got a box full of them. So these are kind of my favorite ones.
Wow.
Let's see, Boston and the Runaways. We got to talk about the Runaways when you talk about the girl bands.
Okay, there you go. We'll do that. We will do that. End of the tour for Sal. Okay. Wow. Okay, cool, man. Thanks, Dan. Okay, so folks, we need to talk about Deep Purple. That's all there is to it.
Wait a minute.
Okay?
Here's a couple more.
Okay. Let me come back and look. I want to get a close up again.
There's Queen.
Yes, Queen, ZZ Top.
Oh, ZZ Top. You know, ZZ Top's coming to town here. I saw them at the Laughlin, Nevada when I was on the Laughlin River Run. And what a great show. You talk about three guys put out so much sound.
And that's the original,
Jethro Tull there. Yeah, I saw Jethro Tull at the Las Vegas Ice Palace.
ELO.
18 years old. Yeah, ELO.
Nice.
Great, brother. Great.
Well, like they always say now, they say, I may be old, but I got to see all the good bands.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right. I didn't get to see them all, but I saw a lot of them, you know. The Angry Peanut Gallery closes ranks. Love it, Michael.
How much did I pay for that Rush ticket?
I don't know.
Probably.
Oh, the new one you mean, recent.
No, I know what I paid for the recent one. Yeah.
I know you don't want to. I know you don't want to repeat it again. I know that. Yeah, and that's a long ways out too, isn't it? Isn't it like almost a year away or something?
Yeah, in June.
Jeez, you better hope those guys are still healthy by then.
Rush. It doesn't have a price on it, but I'm sure it wasn't more than $8.
Wow.
$8 Canadian.
$8 Canadian.
$6.50.
Yeah, what's up with that? You know.
Well, hell, even the damn parking's $30 now, and that's the cheap parking. They got special parking for $50.
Yeah.
But the exchange rate is so crazy. I mean, when I was in Australia, I bought a surfboard for $1,200 Australian, which was $600 American. Carried it through 3 international airports, only to be cocky when I got home and paddle out on a big day at the Rock in Morro Bay. And my surfboard, after I almost drowned, wound up on the rocks with some holes in it. Paddled out, ate the first big wave that came along, pushed me down into this dark, like washing machine, swirling around, completely out of air. I see light, I surface, and the next one hits me. And I go down, it starts all over again with about a half a breath of air in my lungs. I went through 3 of those when I didn't think I was going to survive. And then I see a crowd on the beach. When I finally clawed my way up to Morro Rock, if you've ever seen it, it's a huge former volcano, you know. And I kept trying to claw my way up, and a surge would push me up. And then when it came back down, it filled my wetsuit, you know. I went through that about 5 times before I finally got up on a trail, walked to the beach, only to find my surfboard had been slammed into those same rocks. My Australian surfboard, which is like gold to me. Anyway, all right.
You know, I had something happen like that to me on the North Shore of Hawaii. I was doing some body surfing out there. It wasn't really on a surfboard, but it was just when you blow up things, I folded it in half and it was just body surfing.
Yeah.
got wiped out, and same thing. I was tumbling in that wash. I got out of the water. My pockets. I was wearing blue jean cutoffs. My pockets were full of sand.
Yeah,
I mean, stuffed with sand.
that's the worst feeling though when you're stuck like that.
Yeah.
And you know that
Yeah.
that salesman at that surf shop in Noosa Heads, Australia. He runs up with a big grin on his face and introduces himself like he's a celebrity. I'm like, well, hey, Royce Henning, glad to meet you. Well, come to find out, he was number 2 for longboarding in Australia at the time, Josh Constable, and 2 years later, he was number 1 in the world. I got pictures of me and him. Kind of proud of that. To me, that's more important than a picture of a rock star.
You know, one of the things I noticed about difference in the concerts, you know, I've seen Deep Purple twice. Once was the original Deep Purple, then I saw them a little over a year ago. Of course, it wasn't, you know, they got not the original lineup anymore. Along with Yes, I saw Yes as well. Of course, they didn't have John Anderson anymore, and so I saw a different version of them. But back in the day, when you bought your concert tickets, I mean, they were very specific. Even on the tickets, it would say no cameras or recording equipment allowed.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
But now everybody's got cameras. Everybody's recording. You know,
right.
And I'm not sure. I guess that's when the smartphones came out because I remember I had my first digital camera. I think this was Ozfest in 2000, and Ozzy's on stage, and I'm pretty close to the stage, and I'm taking pictures of Ozzy. One of the people came and told me to stop taking pictures. Because even in 2000, not everybody had digital cameras, but I was told to stop taking pictures. You know, and now now everybody takes pictures. You know,
you're right, filming the whole damn thing now. Okay, so we haven't talked about Deep Purple, so we're going to talk about Deep Purple. All right, based on the most iconic Mark II lineup. I'm not that familiar with that, but obviously it's the most iconic lineup. The individual talents of Deep Purple's members blended a foundation of hard rock with elements of classical and blues. Okay, so first we'll talk about Ian Gillan's vocals. Okay, didn't he do a brief stint with Black Sabbath?
Yes, he did. I was going to talk about that when you're done. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So his powerful range, Gillan is known for his unique, powerful, wide-ranging singing voice. His vocal prowess has been compared to an operatic style, actually. Distinctive screams. His trademark banshee-like scream, that sounds like Yoko, became a signature element of the band's heavier hard rock sound. Okay. Then we caught the iconic. I was listening to, I've got 3 of my Black Sabbath albums sitting out here to show. I was listening to them earlier. His virtuosic guitar work. Blackmore was a highly skilled, influential guitarist known for his electrifying, intricate solos and memorable riffs. Classical influence, his playing often incorporated classical and blues influences, which helped define the band's distinctive style. Okay. Creator of iconic riffs, he is responsible for some of the most famous riffs in rock. Yes, he is, including the one in Smoke on the Water. Yeah, that is like anybody that ever picked up a guitar had to learn how to play those chords there, you know. Okay, now we have John Lord, the keyboardist. Okay, pioneering keyboardist. Lord was a classically trained organ player whose masterful and virtuosic playing was a defining feature of Deep Purple's sound, inventive sound. He pioneered the use of distorted Hammond organ, creating a unique and powerful tone that completely directly with the guitar. I mean, it just competed directly with the guitar is what I'm trying to say. I just get tongue-tied sometimes. Blending genres, his ability to fuse classical music with hard rock was a key component of the band's sound. Okay. I don't know why I keep saying okay. But Ian Pace, the drummer, okay, the only constant member of Deep Purple, Pace, is renowned for his technical skill, speed, and powerhouse drumming. Rhythmic foundation is precise, energetic rhythm and signature drum fills drove the band forward and formed a solid backbone. Folks. Okay, so that leads us to the bassist, Roger Glover. Okay, Glover provided the solid and groovy, super groovy. Where's groovy, Lisa? Okay, foundation for the band's rhythm section. His tight and precise bass lines were crucial to the band's sound. Melodic and musical, beyond providing a steady beat, his playing was melodic and musical, adding depth to the band's composition, songwriting, and production. As a talented songwriter and producer, he was also a producer. Glover was also key behind the screens with contributions. Okay, behind the screen contributions. So, okay, so they pretty much set themselves apart with their virtuosic musicianship, seamless blend of hard rock and classical influence, and and that's pretty much what I had to say. Their music acted as a bridge between psychedelic and progressive rock scenes with the emerging heavy metal sound. Okay, so I mean, we're getting close here, folks. We're getting close. We'll get some comments back up. Okay, so Deep Purple. I saw them in concert at the California Jam. Great job. Oh my God. I really that concert was amazing. I mean, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, the Eagles, Black Oak, Arkansas. I can't even think of all the names right now. And then a helicopter comes in and lands at the stage. Who climbs out? Kind of popular at the time, Linda Lovelace. Linda Lovelace came out, went up to the microphone and said, "I wish I could get to know you all a little bit better." Blah blah blah. Bring the music back. We don't want this. Anyway, Tim Henry. I like Machine Head and Perfect Strangers. Absolutely. I have Machine Head sitting here to show in a minute. Okay, so what do you guys think? Are you guys?
Something I thought was always interesting, because I heard this several years ago about Richie Blackmore when he wrote "Smoke on the Water," because we all know what "Smoke on the Water" song is about. It's about the fire.
The fire, right?
I guess at a Frank Zappa gig or whatever. And, but when he wrote "Smoke on the Water," that's basically the intro is basically the inversion, modified a little bit, of Ludwig van Beethoven's Symphony No. 5.
Okay.
played backwards. That's dun 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 dun. That's
okay.
Number 5 in reverse. And he said he owes Beethoven a lot of money because of that.
I love that.
I wasn't sure if he was trolling when he said that or not, but.
And I've never played that backwards to find out. I've never done.
I've never attempted it either.
It's quite similar.
Like I was gonna say, there was a time, I know when I got into Deep Purple and Black Sabbath and stuff in my teen years, I started getting a little bit of confusion because I recognized the band, but then I'd hear a singer like Ian Gillan was singing with Black Sabbath, Dio was singing with Rainbow for a bit, and you had all these, there's like these revolving doors with all these different members going in and out of different bands and stuff, which was great and fine, and that's what they needed to do. But for a while it's kind of hard. You needed a scoreboard to try to keep track of who's in which band at what time and what album.
Because Black Sabbath ended up having 7 or 8 different singers over the period of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of people came and went. That's why they had a name for the particular lineup I was talking about, because everybody's what about this guy, what about that guy?
One of the things that always caught my ear with Deep Purple was the keyboards.
Oh yes,
the keyboards I love the keyboards in Deep Purple.
Yeah. Hey, Bill Case here. How you doing, buddy, Bill?
I had some friends who didn't like Deep Purple because why do they have to have that stupid organ in there? But I thought it added so much sound. It just it gives the band just huge.
I feel the same way. Absolutely.
Well, a lot of bands were doing it back then. I think you're right. He did it a lot. Was it the Hammond organ? I think everybody used the Hammond organ.
Wow, Linda Lovelace.
Yeah. She was popular at the time. That's why they brought her in.
When you put on Machine Head and there's Space Truckin', I thought that was the guitar riff. No, that was John Lord's Hammond. Yeah. Oh man, it can make it just sound just like that guitar, man.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, John Paul Jones is another one. Oh man.
And then
some of those extended solos he had, when they were playing live, were just insane.
And I know for me, when I watched Ian play drums just videos. I'm like, why is that guy playing backwards? Are they doing like camera tricks? It was because his set was set up backwards, being left-handed, and it was just like,
Dr. Insomnia, another fan of John Lord. John Lord rules. I like that. Yeah. Well, we're talking about three absolutely fantastic bands here. It's almost cruel to even try to rank them. I mean, they're all. I mean, they are the unholy trinity. And they all share the spotlight. I mean, we all have, bands we favor a little bit more for whatever reasons. But boy, these guys are all fantastic.
Well, if I had to label them in order, I'd say my number one would be Led Zeppelin, number two Black Sabbath, number three Deep Purple. That's my preference.
Dan, that you just echoed my exact.
Oh, okay.
My exact list. My exact list. Yes. And I'm not saying by leaps and bounds, but
no.
For I don't think I've. Well, you know what? I have. I don't know if I've listened to too many people more than I've listened to Led Zeppelin. I know I have Jimi Hendrix, and there was some late Beatles stuff, and then there was some other great stuff. I love Creedence Clearwater. I could put a CD in my truck, and it might sit in there for 2 weeks, and I'd listen to it every damn day on the way to work and back. But the same with Cream, big time with Cream. And I probably knew all those songs by heart. So I mean, I have a lot of bands that I love. And it's kind of like your favorite sometimes can be whatever you're listening to.
Yeah.
That's why you don't want to take it out. It's just yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna let's see. I am going to show a couple of albums. Now, I wasn't going to show every Led Zeppelin album I have because I have all the studio albums. I have compilations. I have I have so much Led Zeppelin. I wasn't about to start pulling it all out. I just wanted to show a sampling of primarily early stuff, So I'm going to start out with, here, let me make the screen a little bit bigger. I'm going to start out with Led Zeppelin 1. And I was in high school. This was 1969. In fact, Led Zeppelin 1 and Led Zeppelin 2 both came out in 1969. Several months apart. One came out early in 69, one came out later. It might have been 6 or 7 months apart. But we all went completely nuts when Led Zeppelin came out. I mean, it was like the greatest thing we'd ever heard in our lives. Everybody was a fan. And I went to a school that was half trade school, half junior college, half finish your high school diploma, all wrapped up in one in Las Vegas. So you talk about a motley crew out there. They treated you like an adult. They shouldn't do that to a 17-year-old, because we don't need a note from mommy when we don't come to school. Well, who's going to go to school? Got to bring a note from mom. Anyway, we went to school, but we left a lot too. Always early and extended lunch hours. And I won't talk about what we were doing. So anyway, Led Zeppelin. Oh, I can't say enough about the impact that had on me. And of course, Led Zeppelin 2 came out with the single "Whole Lot of Love," and the people just went, "Oh my God!" You heard that wherever you went. Wherever you went, Led Zeppelin 2 was playing. And I can call when I'm listening to Led Zeppelin 2, it's my favorite Led Zeppelin album. When I'm listening to Led Zeppelin 1, it's my very favorite Led Zeppelin album. And when I'm listening to Led Zeppelin, I brought 3 because 3 came out, while I was still in high school too. I went out and bought the 8-track. All my friends were saying they didn't like it. And the first time I listened to it, I go, what the hell happened to these guys? And I used to love them. And but I had a little bit of a drive to school and back every day. It wasn't like just up the street because I was driving into Vegas. And in no time at all, I was a big fan of this album because I started listening to it every day to and from work, to and from school, maybe to and from work too. But anyway, so it grew on me, and I've learned to appreciate it. It's a great album, but no greater. When I'm listening to I can't say 3 is my favorite when I'm listening to it. I can say that about 1 and 2. I can absolutely say it about 4. Led Zeppelin 4. Absolutely love this album. When I was living in Southern California, I got off of my first job, which sometimes started at 4:30 in the morning, usually ended around 4:30. So it's just a 12-hour day. Then I'd have to drive from Compton, California, where the factory was, all the way out to Orange, the city of Orange, to my night job as a martial arts instructor, 3 hours in the evening. And every time I made that trip, this played probably twice on the way there and twice on the way back. And I love that album. Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple of early Led Zeppelin albums. This one happens to be the Rhino here. I've got 2 copies of it. This is
Black
the
Sabbath.
What did I say? Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, this is Black Sabbath, okay? It's 180-gram vinyl cut from the original analog master tapes by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. Pressed on Optimum Media heavyweight gatefold jacket, exclusive insert with commentary by engineer Tom Allen, limited edition. And down here it says Rhino. You know that Rhino is the limited edition. I already had the original copy, but when the Rhino came out, and it was actually really fairly priced, I just couldn't help myself. I had to go get it. So that was Led Zeppelin 1, self-titled album. And then we had Paranoid. I love Led Zeppelin 1, but I really love this album, man. I mean, how do you beat an album with, War Pigs, Paranoid, Planet Caravan, Iron Man? What a great song, Iron Man. What a great story. If you've never paid any attention to the story, just dug the way it sounded, really pay attention to the lyrics. Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, Rat Salad, Fairies Wear Boots. Oh, do they? Okay, that was the second album they came out with. This was the third Sabbath, Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. Not Masters, Master of Reality. Okay, and 180-gram vinyl. And this is a great album. Starts out with Sweet Leaf. Everybody loves that song.
Oh yeah.
Children of the Grave, Orchid, Lord of the Wheels, Solitude, Into the Void, Geezer Butler's book. Okay, and so this was the fourth album. So this will be the last one of these I show. And this is Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. And I remember having this on 8-track years and years ago, before I left Henderson, Nevada. And I can remember playing that thing, so much, just an amazing amount. I really got hooked on it, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, A National Acrobat, Fluff, Sabracadabra, Killing Yourself to Live. Only Black Sabbath, right? Killing Yourself to Live. Who Are You? Looking for Today, and Spiral Architect. All right. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. I love that album. Okay, now I have a little bit of Deep Purple stuff here. We're going to start out with the iconic Machine Head. Okay, I listened to this today, amongst everything else I was trying to do. We have a gatefold here. I'll pull this out carefully. I don't like to mess anything up. We have a gatefold with a ton of pictures here. Okay, and then this is kind of cool too. It's got this Deep Purple Machine Head. It's got the songs and all the lyrics here. Came with this, right?
Oh, cool.
The songs and all the lyrics, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I'm going to put this stuff away, and I will show you the last one. It was the last album I listened to today. No, I take that back. This is the second one. Okay, this is great because it's a compilation, The Deepest Purple. The Deepest Purple, like a greatest hits kind of a thing. Okay, just like Machine Head, it's also got Smoke on the Water down here, the last track. But Black Knight, Speed King, Fireball, Strange Kind of Woman, Child in Time, Woman from Tokyo.
Yeah, singing it.
I know. That's how I was feeling. Highway Star, Space Truckin', Burn, Storm Bringer, Demon's Eye, and Smoke on the Water. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, now this is the funny one that I shouldn't say funny, but Deep Purple in concert live at the Royal Albert Hall Concerto for Group and Orchestra, composed by John Lord. The Royal Philharmonic Orchestra with Deep Purple. And this was really different. I mean, really, really different. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I don't mind a little orchestra here and there. I mean, how many bands have played with them? Like, time you see somebody playing in concert, there's an orchestra off to the side or behind them.
Yeah, quite.
But anyway, but I mean, this is heavy orchestra. Okay.
Good album.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's all I was going to show. Just a sampling of my stuff. Anybody else have anything they want to show or talk about or closing statements? Okay, go ahead.
You know, I think the thing that drew me to Black Sabbath when I was a kid was I've always liked horror movies, always loved scary movies, you know. And first time I heard Black Sabbath, I go, man, that's some scary music, and it just drew me to it, you know. And I think the first album I heard was Master of Reality. Of course, then I went back and listened to the very first album and heard the very first song, Black Sabbath. Oh my God, that's like a horror movie. It's kind of scary to listen to, you know. Someone, oh God, please help me, you know, and you're
Right.
It's like you're thinking, you picture yourself going to hell, you know.
If you don't stop listening, yeah. Your mother probably told you that.
And one of the things you mentioned you mentioned that one song, Into the Void.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I'm going to check out when I go to Birmingham in December is that Ozzy's childhood home. He went outside the door frame, and on the brick he carved what he wanted. He wanted to name a band, so he carved the name of the band that he wanted into the brick. It was called
Earth or
no, it was called Void, not
okay.
Void. Oh, called Iron Void. That's what it was. Iron Void.
Iron Void. No kidding.
And he carved that into the brick, Iron Void, and to this day it's still there.
Oh,
and above
wow.
and above that he carved his name, John. So when I go to Birmingham, I'm gonna check that out and take a good shot of that.
Yeah, I'll lend you a hammer. I'll lend you a hammer and a chisel to take with you.
But I thought that, you know, how appropriate it was that, you know, he ended up coming up with those two names, Iron Man and Into the Void.
Yeah.
Somehow he was able to use those two names into the song later on.
Well, you know, I mean, how much would they charge you for a suitcase big enough for me to fit in? Well,
Yeah,
wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah,
I went about 5 years ago to England.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a train from London to Birmingham, you know, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
and we'll go and we'll be going near Ozzy's home, you know, where he's buried, but not close enough to see anything. So but we'll be going by there. It's kind of northwest of London.
Well, I was back there during Kiss's end of the road tour, and we hiked over to the hotel where Kiss was staying. And Eric Singer came down, and we walked around London together. Him and Eric and my son-in-law, who were good friends, and then we took the bullet train to Amsterdam, and that was a fun place to go to. Anyway, we took the bullet train there, and you know, we visited a few of those little alley coffee shops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And of course, my son-in-law and daughter had to go down to the red light district 4 nights in a row while we babysat. Also what we did while they were at the Kiss concert, we babysat. Anyway, it's okay. We had a fun time. London, Amsterdam, went out to Venice. Venice was cool. And went over, we're in Venice, and we traveled over to 2 or 3 of the little islands that you just kind of ferry across to. And one of them was called the one that, you know, they make all the glass there. They blow all the glass and stuff like that. And some of the just prettiest, you know, you look down the street, you got the waterway running between like a big wide canal and all these colorful buildings. The place was beautiful. Probably the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
You know, Rock and Robinbird's asking if the Moody Blues from Birmingham. I'm still doing research on it. I know John Lodge was from Birmingham, and I know where he went to college at. So I'm gonna do a little more research, see if I get some of those spots that.
They're at least from the Midlands, which is all kind of
to get a little bit. And also Judas Priest. Who else? There's
Traffic was from there.
I won't be able to hit all the spots.
Moody Blues, Traffic, some others, you know.
I'll be going to the Crown Pub where Black Sabbath used to have some of their very first gigs. It's no longer open. But they're going to remodel it here in, I guess, the next few years. But, you know, I get some outside shots of the Crown Pub.
Nice.
And of course,
Yeah, Eric.
The Black Sabbath bench. I'm going to go there, and some of the mural art that's out there, and
Yeah.
And I also his the school that Ozzy went to, was right down the street from his house.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get some shots of that. And
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we did kind of a little rock and roll touring around London and stuff. We went over to the flat that Mama Cass and Keith Moon both died in the same room in.
God.
Yeah. And she didn't choke on a ham sandwich. There was
No.
one on the plate, but it didn't have a single bite out of it. She just
it was a
died,
turkey
you know.
sandwich. No.
Oh, was it turkey? Okay. And then we went, let's see, where else did we go there? Quite a few places. Well, we went to like Barnaby Street, where all the rock stars go down and shop for their clothing, you know, Jimi Hendrix to get that big flowery stuff and everything. And then there was a bunch of studios. We went by Trident Studio and some different places like that, which would have a plaque outside, you know, showing you all the bands that had recorded there and stuff like that. And so it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I would go back to any one of the three places I went this time to. And I probably skipped Venice. You know, I've seen it once. I'd want to see other parts of Italy. You know, maybe like, you know, Basque area and along the coastline, and you know, Rome.
Did you take the train from London to Italy?
No, we took the bullet train under the English Channel from London to Amsterdam.
Okay.
And we were hauling ass, baby. First time on a bullet train. Why do so many of these other places have this stuff and we don't have it here yet? You know.
Well, I heard a comedian talking the other day about London and England in general. He goes, for those of you who haven't been over there, he said everything over there is really old.
That's the thing, you know. That
he said you're on a tour and they go by and say this building is from 8. You know, it's
hey,
the year 8. You know,
those players were fighting Vikings and stuff. That was regular Four Horsemen stuff right there.
Yeah, there you go. When he says, you know, that everything is old, he says, well, what have you guys been doing over here? You know, everything's so old. Why isn't anything new?
Right.
But I think it's gonna be.
Well, you know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think it's gonna be pretty interesting to see some of the old stuff. You know, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Because I've never really seen old stuff. Everything, you know.
Right.
100 years or newer here.
Well, you know, when you're when you're in London and you're walking across, you know, Abbey Road, you know, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Going to all these places, and you're over there at the castle, and you're watching the changing of the guard. And
yeah.
All that stuff. It's a trip. When we were there, they were having the World Series of Cricket, and it was the English-Welsh team against I can't remember, but it was like the whole city had come to a complete standstill. Everybody was outside. There was a huge, biggest TV screen you ever saw in your life across the street. And it was just hordes of people watching the game, and it was all being broadcast over loudspeakers, and somebody got a hit, and boy, it was like pandemonium, you know, playing cricket. But anyway, that's okay. I mean, I'm not choked on a lot of stuff, Caitlin, exclamation point. Michael Nolan. Anyway, I'm glad Michael's feeling better. He was like worn out today. He didn't even do his own show, but he made it to mine. Oh my God. You talk about a warrior. That is Warhorse right there. Cass Elliot died of a heart attack at the age of 32. The widely circulated rumor that she choked on a ham sandwich is false. That's right. In her autopsy found no drugs in her system. Yeah. You know, she was just a big girl, you know. Yeah. And let's see, that particular flat was owned by, what's his name? John Lennon's good buddy. They were all at the Alice Cooper's drinking club. Whenever Lennon was out, he'd come over there with him. Yes, Harry Nelson. Harry Nelson, yes. Yeah, Harry Nelson was actually an officer in Alice Cooper's drinking club, along with, the drummer for The Who. And they said that the thing they would love about him was how he was going to show up at the meetings, because he'd go to all these costume shops. He might show up as the Queen of England. He might show up as a French maid with a little skirt on. And it was just all for fun. And the whole upstairs of the Rainbow Club was reserved. There's even a sign still there. I've seen it, for the Hollywood Vampires Drinking Club, and it lists, Alice Cooper, president, Keith Moon, vice president, and it lists all the officers. Man, boy, what a fun time that must have been. Yeah. So anyway, my closing statement would be: I really enjoyed doing the show. I learned something from every show that I do. There's so much to learn. You never get to learn enough before the show starts, but you do the best you can. I appreciate the panel I had tonight. Dan, Dawson, and Dave. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you.
Thanks,
and
Ray.
I really appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys are fantastic. Man, we love the chat, man. It wouldn't be the same without all you guys here, watching the show, making your comments. It just makes all the difference in the world. So thank you all so much. Dan, any closing comments?
No, just keep listening to that music.
That's right. That's how I feel.
Mine was I've got to see the singer Ian Gillan. I got to see the bass player Roger Glover, and I got to see Ian Pace, the drummer. I did not get to see Richie Blackmore and, of course, John Lord. But who had played was Don Airey and Steve Morse. Now, Deep Purple has a new album out, a new guitar player, and they sound solid. So if you get a chance, go check them out. Let me know how they sound. And thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, no. Thank you, man. You did a great job tonight, man. I give credit where credit's due. Michael Nolan, you have to admit that staying in a room owned by one of Hollywood vampires was pushing it, Royce. That's exactly right.
It's true.
That is a good point. It was almost like destiny doing that. My math skills inform me Dawson is my niece's age.
I'm 27, so like it's weird. It's like the 27 club, but I'm a very healthy person. I don't smoke, I don't drink, so I think I'm on the path for the wise, ripe old age.
Good, thank you, Rock and Roll. Well, I'm already there, so. But I'd like to extend it a little bit,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I don't want to. I don't want to. But anyway, Winslow, 1957. Eric Schultz, my friend Eric Schultz. Eric Schultz, a guitar player, and he puts up. He puts up videos almost daily. Yeah, I check him out. You guys ought to all check out Eric Schultz. Michael Nolan, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you tonight's Four Horsemen. Dun, da, 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 da. That deep purple riff on
the Tonka.
It could be the theme for this show, Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Joseph Blue, my brother. Ian Gillian scream drove me crazy. Didn't like it. Like I said, when I read that, I go, that sounds like Yoko Ono, and her scream really drives me crazy. I got a Frank Zappa 3-album set live at the Fillmore East, and he invited John and Yoko up after his band had did their set to come up and jam with him. And I've got one whole side is that jam. It's a 3-album set, but one whole side of one of the albums is that jam. And Yoko does nothing but scream every couple of seconds, all the way through every song. And it's like, what is this? Why would anybody like that? Why would anybody put that on an album? Why would anybody let her on stage to just do that? I mean, it's like, absolutely. I know there's a term for it. I got my own term for it. It's not very flattering. Bill K. Well, I know Royce and I had our share both of alcohol and pot. I would have to admit to that. Yes, I would have to admit to a lot. There's a lot I won't admit to, but I'd have to admit to that. My mother was wondering why all these strange characters she'd never seen before were knocking on the door. But anyway, obviously John was hypnotized. Yeah, John must have been hypnotized. I don't even want to try to imagine how or why, but he was. Okay, guys. Well, any closing statements there? Hot Frog?
I was just wondering if anybody had saw the clip of Ozzy and his family. It was taken from the podcast they did, and they're talking about the house that they fixed up where Ozzy's buried. Originally, it was a lunatic asylum.
Yes. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
You see the clip that Ozzy
Oh,
got, he goes, only my wife would find me an asylum.
yeah. I saw that.
I recommend watching it. He thought that was the funniest thing.
Okay. Where do you find that at?
It's on YouTube. It's just it's just type in Ozzy and Sharon talking about house or something on YouTube.
Okay.
You'll see it there. It was called St. Luke's Hospital for Lunatics or something like that. It was.
Yeah, he seemed very. Yeah, he seemed very happy about it. Very pleased.
Oh, he was above and beyond happy about the whole thing.
I stand corrected. James Watson just said Yoko is a misunderstood genius.
Ah.
That's been my problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a genius. She's a genius, and nobody recognized it.
All right, Bill.
Tatanka, be thy name. Take care, Roy, Stan, Dave, too. Okay, guys, we're going to sign off. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you all being here. And that's what's happening in Royce's world today. Thank you once again. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
everybody.